So I'm hanging out before I'm about to train, getting some calories in, and my phone goes off. Ripple bought someone. Yep, that's right. In a big move that's going to help with money transmitter licenses, Ripple went shopping. You know who else went shopping? 100,000 people that got into Solana's next-gen smartphone. The affordable one. Price action got you covered. Let's learn. Starting it off with your comments, the viewer matters most, and don't mind the attire. I'm a little cold lately with all this running I've been doing. VR Fanatic dropped some support to the channel. Thank you very much, VR Fanatic. And thank you very much for all the friends across the pond. Holy crap, was the support in the live stream this morning amazing, and it came from across the pond. So thank you. VR Fanatic says, the words, "the consumer is the one fueling crypto," is a very sobering thought at this current stage of market development. I personally thought XRP BTC getting somewhat of a form of clarity, we would have evolved by now. But sure, who wants to buy BTC on paper with no ability to sell off in peak times when you could buy on private market? The plot thickens. Good point. And I think that's something that we talked about in the live stream that some people are struggling with. You know, we're talking about XLM price action. We're talking about XRP, which, by the way, XRP and XLM both responded negatively on the CPI data news, but check it out. XLM has gone sideways since, while XRP has climbed up. Why? Because they did shopping. But what VR Fanatic is talking about is we're deep into this crypto phase, right? A lot of these cryptos have been launched 2015, 16, 17, 18. I mean, how long are you going to sit there and go adoption, waiting for people to use it? The consumer's one feeling crypto. Well, what about like more big institutions, right? You haven't seen it yet. It's taking longer than people expected. And VR Fanatic, I wanted to applaud you for that because you're pointing out what a lot of us are thinking. Bitcoin sitting at 49,226. The heat map represents the last 24 hours. ETH essentially sideways, 26. 23. XRP, they spent money, but they're down 1.3%, 52.6. XLM, we talked about, definitely lagging even further, 11 cents. Ben chimed in this morning from across the pond and said Caspa's made him some money. Holy crap, we checked the Caspa charts. Ben is right, and he's in the green. All right, unpacking Solana's second smartphones, 100,000 pre-orders. I know 100,000 doesn't sound like a lot for pre-orders, but like, think of this. What if their expectation was to only have 50,000 pre-orders? Well, Jesus, they just blew the doors off, didn't they? So again, it's about expectation versus reality. And the 100,000 here is a good number. Now, why is the 100,000 a good number? Well, because this is their second phone they're releasing. On today's date, Tuesday, February 13th. Hey, that's today, ladies and gents. That's why you hit the subscribe button for breaking news without me putting breaking in every thumbnail or bullish or boom. No, I bring breaking news like every day because it's what I do. On today's date, Tuesday, February 13th, Solana's mobile second smartphone, oh, God, I was going to lead that one in. Chapter 2 has achieved a remarkable milestone by securing 100,000 pre-orders. This significant far surpasses the total sales of its predecessor, the Saga. The Saga came with a bunch of bonk, but the Saga was also super, super expensive. And honestly, it's geared toward crypto enthusiasts. Ultimately, Saga sold out all 20,000 of its units. So with Chapter 2 coming in at 100,000 pre-orders, that's 5 times the amount of the Saga. Several key factors contributed to the success of Chapter 2, building upon the lessons learned from Saga's launch. And this is where I think we're all benefiting here. Whether you're like a Sol fan, a Solana smartphone kind of person, what you're seeing here is revisions, okay? Chapter 2 was introduced at a more accessible price of $450 compared to the Saga's $1,000, all right? So now, what they're doing is they're seeing, hey, what does the consumer want? Okay, the consumer does want a blockchain smartphone, but they don't want to pay as much, but they still want to have good features. So they went back to the drawing board and they come up with Chapter 2. Boom, 100,000 pre-orders. This is good for all, because what we're seeing here is we're seeing a crypto project, a crypto group, whatever you want to call this, making revisions, making improvements, and it's benefiting us. It's benefiting the consumer. I love this. I think this is really important. And I think this is where, I know what VR Fanatic is talking about, right? Where we're like, hey, why is the consumer the one fueling it? I know we have sobering stories like that, but we also got good ones like this, where you're seeing companies out there actually give the consumer what they want. Ripple Labs expands with standard custody acquisition. Now, there's a little caveat here. They got to get approval first, but I think they should be okay. Ripple Labs, a company specializing in blockchain payments, recently announced its acquisition of Standard Custody and Trust Company. Ooh, they want to use some of those trust money transmitter lines. A regulated platform for digital assets designed for enterprise use. In a transaction that is still awaiting approval from regulatory bodies, Ripple Labs has reached an agreement to buy Standard Custody, which is a subsidiary of PolySign. The fact that Ripple Labs has requested clearance from the relevant authorities demonstrates the company's dedication. No, you get approval no matter what. Like, you don't want to piss off regulators, okay? Let's not oversell that. Now, what I like about this is further diversifying Ripple, giving them more in the picks and shovels, okay? That's important. Custody is going to be a very important thing going forward. You're seeing Coinbase deal with that, right? You're seeing some issues here in the United States where they're trying to take custody away from these exchanges, put it to a third party so that funds don't get commingled. That'd be kind of rough, wouldn't it, right? Especially for the exchanges, which they're like, look, we don't want to have to pay for a custody company, but now Ripple bought a custody company. Let's keep learning because Monica Long has some good statements here. Monica Long, the president of Ripple, stated her thoughts on the transaction and discussed Ripple's position. Long made the statement in an interview, said, what Standard Custody brings to the portfolio here is another set of important licenses with trust licenses in the United States. I'm going to leave that in. See, I make mistakes too. You need to supply not only the technological component to financial institutions that want to use blockchain for all kinds of decentralized finance services, but you also need to be able to provide a compliance component. As a result, these licenses are very important for us in order to provide complete end-to-end solution. Furthermore, Ripple has expanded its portfolio and includes like Medico, a provider of custody solutions in addition to Standard Custody. That's big. Now, let's be real here. Did that have any effect on price? Yes, it did, right? News broke. Yes, it did. The problem was, though, is the price got eroded this morning with poopy CPI data. So look, see, this is what happened with XLM, okay? XLM, look, went down, CPI data, she stayed down. Why? Because there's no good news. XRP went down on the CPI data, but then boom, right away, there was the announcement of what, everyone? The purchasing of Standard Custody. So news and macros do matter. And in fact, they matter so much that if you're an XLM holder, you're going, well, bro, why are we still down while XRP is up? Well, that's because Ripple just purchased Standard Custody, picks and shovels, enterprise-grade custody solution. Now you're sitting here, sorry, my soup, I got to make sure my soup is good. Now you're sitting here and you're wondering, how does this benefit us XRP fans? Well, firstly, it benefited you by pulling you out of the CPI news basement. Other cryptos did not get that exact same chance. In fact, we were just looking at Bitcoin right at the beginning of this, okay? When we were watching Bitcoin earlier today, 50,000, it was right there. Then all of a sudden, CPI data came out, dropped that bad boy down to 49. It's now at 49.2. XRP has clawed its way back from that pullback that we saw this morning. So yeah, the news does matter. Is it going to be moon news? No. I mean, are you going to see channels out there about melting faces or boom or to the moon or crap like that? Yeah, but the problem is monetary conditions won't allow it because retail is fueling crypto. Even though institutional grade money is allowed to buy into crypto, they're allowed to put it on their books. Elon Musk Tesla has Doge on its books along with Bitcoin. MicroStrategy has a lot of Bitcoin on its books. So companies are allowed to put crypto on as long as they designate it correctly. But you're not seeing that. You're only seeing the retail segment fuel crypto. And what's interesting about that is when we start looking at Solana and their smartphone, right? That's for retail, right? They're learning from that, going, well, wait a minute. We priced this first one way too high. Let's fix our second one, offer it quite a bit lower. And they pre-sold 5 times more than they did on their first one, the Saga, okay? So now, if we kind of extrapolate all this and we look at XRP price in Ripple Labs, we look at this and we go, you know what? This is good for Ripple as a company. But as of right now, the only good this is for XRP is that it, for the short term, brought us out of the CPI data funk. If you don't know what I'm talking about regarding the CPI data funk, that's this video right here. Now, what am I doing? Well, I'm going to plow down my soup that's filled with dog hair because I have 4 dogs. I'm going to eat it, and then I'm going to go running because I just got done lifting before I did this video. Ultra season. I'll catch you cool cats later, but check out that video.